Hi, Eugene. Nice to have you on the
Hey, Adam.
podcast.
Very happy to be here. Very, very happy.
No, I'm glad to have you on, and it's good to connect again.
Yeah. You have a nice color.
Yeah. No, thank you. I just thought I'd start by asking you how you kind of got into what you do, because you're NLP life coach who helps people and businesses.
Yeah. How did I get into what I'm doing? Okay. 2013, I lost my job, and I was very lost, and I was jobless for about 9 months. So I needed coaching, and my friends introduced me to a few different programs. There was a Landmark Forum. There was NLP, and there was ICF, and there was a whole bunch of stuff. So I every week I was in a different seminar and learning. And at some point I decided, hey, this is quite meaningful, the people on stage. I wanted to do what they did. And I thought, well, I spoke fairly well. So why not change my career to do life coaching? And I started, the first few years, the first two years, no much clients. I did a lot of things for free. But when I persevered, there were a lot more companies that looked for me, and I started coaching leadership teams, sales teams, customer service teams, and then gradually individuals started paying me as well. So that's how I started.
Oh, that's great. And I saw that you've done a TEDx public speaking as well, and
yes,
you've appeared on like all kinds of radio shows. You've been in newspapers. I've got a list of some of them here. There's quite a few, but 89.3 FM, 89.3 Money FM, the Business Times, TEDx, the Straits Times,
that's right. Yeah,
Straits Times, Talking Point, the Business Times. You've got Super Brand Me, which is one of your websites, Trainium, Eugene Seah. It's amazing, what you're doing. And, when I previously spoke to you, you mentioned which really resonated with me. You mentioned, is it the 4 M's or something like this?
3M, yeah.
3 M's, yeah.
Yeah. So this was accidentally discovered, by the way, because I always thought, like, why do some people succeed and why do some people don't? Right? There must be some kind of formula, which is not just luck. Right? I don't really believe in luck, actually. I believe we can create our own opportunity. We can influence people. We can control our destiny. So I analyzed and I discovered there were 3 main elements. So, and coincidentally, all 3 started with M. So the first one, you still remember, right? Maybe I should test you.
It was it's money. Yeah. Meaning.
No.
Oh, what is meaning?
Good try. Yeah. I mean, ultimately, if you combine all 3, there will be meaning. Yeah. But the 3 elements does not include meaning. Meaning is the ultimate goal, to have meaning in our life. Yeah. So the second one is mindset. Yeah. And the third one is mastery. Mastery in the craft that you're in. Yeah. So if you combine money, mindset, mastery, money, mindset, mastery, money, mindset, mastery, explosion. Yeah. You'll be able to achieve anything you want in life.
Yeah. No, I think that's really true, isn't it? Like, I think you said, I listened to your podcast talk, and I mean, your TEDx talk, and you were saying, combining those, you find, your meaning, and it all kind of pieces together. And you were saying, if you're a lot of people in society, they live by a script, and you was on that script, and you said you went and got a high profile job, you got lots of good salary from that, but you was burnt out, and you use the phrase like corporate zombie.
Yes, zombies move around, but their heart is not beating, their brain not moving, and a lot of people, when they work for money, the same thing happens, because they are selling their soul for the monthly paycheck. And I was doing the same for many years until I lost my job. Then I realized that, wow, it's like freedom. You can breathe. Or it's like the zombie has been resurrected.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's it. And I really like that you help companies and people to progress and improve. And you do a lot of like personal branding for companies. And you said, when we previously spoke, you mentioned it's so important, that personal branding is so important.
Yeah. There are only two factors that can increase somebody's salary or income or revenue. Only two. Some people say, wow, there are like 7 different factors, 12 different factors. Actually, there are only two factors. The first is your internal belief. If you believe you're worth, let's say, $20,000 per month, $40,000 per month, and then very soon your paycheck will catch up. But most people believe that they're only worth $2,000 per month, $4,000 per month. So there's no way their paycheck can ever exceed that, because everything is limited by your own belief. So that's factor number 1. Factor number 2 is what other people believe about you. And that's what I call personal branding. Because if other people don't believe you're worth $20,000, $30,000 per month, then it's very odd, right? There's no way on earth anybody will pay you $20,000, $30,000 per month if nobody believes you're worth that much. And for that second factor, you need a lot of personal branding.
Yeah, no, I think that's key in what you said. Like, a lot of people, if they're believing that they're only worth, say, £50, and they're charging £50 a client, then they're going to attract that, aren't they? And it's really, like you said, do you find like a lot of companies kind of fall into that trap, or people fall into that trap?
A lot. Yeah, because there are websites like glassdoor.com that can help you check the average income for your industry. So if you start to do that, then you will start to benchmark yourself with the average of the industry. And I realized that, I must thank one of my CEOs in the past. He was in the Singapore Stock Exchange, and he came to talk to me and said, I am actually worth a lot more. I have a huge potential. I was doing quite fun job. I was doing marketing during those days, brochures, advertisements, campaigns, but I was paid very little. So he felt that I was worth a lot more, and I could perform at a much higher level. And I could have said no, but I said yes. So that few years, I transformed into someone a lot more financially savvy. And because of that, another company poached me over and doubled my income. And then someone from Hong Kong doubled my income again. So within those 5-6 years, my income doubled twice. Yeah. So that completely blew my mind that,
wow.
I can't believe I am worth that much, and yet they are paying me that much. So it just completely broke my limiting belief. And from then, I didn't look back. Even when I lost my job, I still believed I was worth that much. And that's why every time I start to run a company, do coaching for people, that I will always benchmark myself at that income level.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. Like, it just goes to show, doesn't it? Like what you said, you like, your income had doubled so many times.
Yes.
And when, I think, like you said, if things happen that are unexpected, it kind of does make you question, like, your beliefs, doesn't it? Because we might see ourselves, to only be worth X amount of pounds or dollars.
Yes.
I think I've done that. If I've gone for jobs in the past, I've applied for jobs which, like kitchen porter jobs,
Yes.
washing dishes.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'm like, why am I doing this? I've done that before. There are other things I should apply for.
Yeah. I think okay. I don't want to emphasize on income. I
It's fine.
think there's a lot of skills as well, because ultimately a person needs 3 things to build his personal brand. And because just now I was talking about how income is affected by self-belief and other people's belief. So let's drill into what other people believe about you. In order to influence the way people believe about you, so as to grow your income, you will need 3 things. The first is called your substance. What are you made of? Are you made of cotton wool? Are you made of sand? Are you made of steel? Right? Because everybody looks the same. 2 eyes, 2 ears, 1 nose, but we are very different. Some people, they meet the slightest issues or difficulties and they melt. Some people, when they meet it, they become stronger, right? And we will never know whether this person is made of steel or of water until you meet a crisis. So that's substance. What is a person's substance? And substance is just more than attitude as well. There's also the skills component. Do you know how to code? Do you know how to speak? Do you know how to negotiate? So all these are substance. If a person's substance is very strong, then for sure his personal brand is going to increase a lot. So that's point number 1. Just now you mentioned, how many times must you wash dishes? How many times must you be a waiter? So there's nothing wrong being a waiter, but you must know what you are trying to gain. What mastery are you trying to acquire? So for example, if you want to improve your customer service skills by being a waiter, very, very good. If you're trying to improve your negotiation skills, your out-of-the-box solutioning skills, then I think it's wonderful. But if you're just trying to make a living, getting 10 pounds per hour, then it's a waste of time. So that's the first S. The second S is your style. What do people know you as? Are you a resilient person? Are you a very no-nonsense person? Are you a very fun, entertaining person, inspirational person? So this has a lot to do with the vibes you give out, the aura, right? Your personality. Yeah, so that's what I call style. Some people misunderstand. They think style is just your dressing. I mean, for sure, your dressing has something to do with style, but it's not just exclusive to dressing. It's also how you carry yourself, right? Do you stand straight? Do you slouch? Do you look away? Do you look straight in people's eye? Do you speak loudly? Do you express yourself? So that's style. And the third one, maybe I'll make you guess. Yeah. So just now you guessed the 3M, now you guess the 3S.
Style. Strength.
Strength is part of substance. It's story.
Story, yeah.
Story. All of us are the directors in our own movie. What story are you writing about your own life? A lot of us go through day by day without writing any stories. Every time I post on Facebook or LinkedIn, I'm actually writing a story. I'm writing episode 1, episode 2, episode 3. Next time when I'm about 85, 90, I look back at all my LinkedIn and Facebook posts. Hopefully Facebook and LinkedIn are still around.
Yeah.
Then I can look back at all the episodes in my life. So that's called story. And a lot of people don't have exciting stories. So they may have the substance. That means maybe they are very intelligent. Maybe they are very resilient. They have the style. Maybe they are very inspirational. Maybe very no nonsense. But you ask, what's his story? No, I'm not sure. I don't know. So in the end, it's very shallow. Once we know a person's story, it goes very deep. Yeah. So these 3 S's combined together forms your personal brand. And personal brand combined with self-belief will create your income.
Yeah, no, that's really powerful. It's really, really powerful what you just spoke about. And I think that's what people will probably look for when they go on somebody's website, isn't it? Is some websites, like yours, you've got your story on there and you can see, like you said, what happened and where you are. And I think like what you said to me as well is if your story isn't on there, then people probably aren't going to have that same trust.
Yeah, they must know not just what you do, but they want to know why you do what you do. And without a story, then the why is missing.
Yeah, no, that's it. And I think, like, do you think sometimes people have stories that can offer a lot to people, but they kind of don't choose to share, you think? Or they don't think it's very big? Do you know what I mean? They downplay it,
Yeah.
do you think?
Okay, first of all, I didn't always share my story. When I lost my job for 1 whole year, I didn't tell people I lost my job. It's something very embarrassing, you know. I mean, being a sole breadwinner, I have 3 children, my wife doesn't work. To lose my income as a Chinese man in Singapore, it is very shameful that I cannot feed my own family. Yeah, so of course, I'm not going to go on Facebook and shout about this embarrassing thing. You know, if I get promoted, maybe I'll shout. You know, if I win awards, I'll shout. Right? Being kicked out of a job, what was there to shout about? Yeah, so for 1 whole year, I struggled with it. But one day, I just couldn't sleep well, and I felt I better tell people that I was retrenched. You know, so something was pulling me towards this, and I decided to write on Facebook that I was retrenched. And wow, from that day onwards, I realized the power of story. You know, people wanted to cover me for the news. They wanted to interview me. They wanted to meet me one-on-one for coaching. And I realized it's all because I shared my authentic story. And of course, having met thousands of people in the past 6 years, there are people who tell me they prefer not to share their stories, right? Maybe stories of retrenchment, adultery, cancer, divorce. Yeah, I can understand that. Yeah, but I always tell people, unless you share your story, you will never be liberated. You know, it is your right. Yeah, you can keep your story as long as you want. I kept it for 1 year. You know, you can keep it for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. You know, one day you need to liberate yourself by sharing the story. When I attended this very powerful life coaching seminar called Landmark Forum, you know, that was one of the many forums I attended that inspired me to be a life coach. And all these hundreds of people in the room, they were taking turns to share their stories. And it was very tragic. You know, some were raped when they were young, some were 3 times divorced, some had addiction to smoking, heroin, all sorts of stuff. And they went on stage and shared this kind of authentic stories in front of hundreds of people. So I thought, wow, that's really courageous of them. And through their courage, I found courage. And that's how today I can share any story I want from my life. Yeah, so I think being around people who are authentic would help someone to be more authentic. If you're always around people who put on masks and hide themselves, then of course, gradually you start to put on a lot of masks.
Yeah, no, that's really powerful. Like you said, people sharing their stories from different backgrounds, and it takes a lot of strength, doesn't it, for people to open up about something, especially, you know, like you said, if, you know, losing your job and feeling that shame, and other people, you know, who've had addictions and things like that. It takes a lot of courage and strength, but I think, like you said, in that, it gives people that inspiration to then share their story and to use their story to, you know, help other people.
Yeah, we inspire each other, and we are always the average of the 5 people that we spend the most time with. This is one of my favorite quotations by a motivational speaker, Jim Rohn.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think that's a really good quote, and I think I think it's important, isn't it, to find people who are similar to you, you know, on your same wavelength as yourself.
Yes, and must be slightly higher. Yeah, I want to look for people who are like a version of myself 5 years later. And this is going to shortcut the process. I remember when I first became a coach, you know, a lot of people say, how can you possibly feed your family, right? You have 3 kids, your wife, and then I had 2 elderly parents at the time. How are you going to feed your kids with coaching fees? How much are people going to pay you per month? And I mean, I must confess, I have no answer, right? But I knew this was what I wanted to do. This is my calling, right? It's not a job, it's not a career, it's my calling. So I just knew that I had to make it work. Yeah, and very soon I made it work. You know, people started paying me thousands and thousands of dollars. I started earning more than what I was earning in the bank. And that was when I realized that, whenever you seek meaning in your life, I mean, this was the key message in my TED Talk. Every time you seek meaning in your life, the money will catch up. Like if you are seeking money in your life, very soon you'll be devoid of meaning.
Yeah. Yeah, no, exactly. I think, yeah, I listened to that part of your TED Talk and I really resonated with it. And I think like people always seek money. Not all people, but sometimes people seek money, and it's like almost I've done jobs and the money's good, and then over time, that money doesn't really mean anything. You're just kind of a bit drained, and like you said, that money will catch up. And I think if you do something that you really love, like you're doing, and many people out there, the money just comes along. It comes with it if you really enjoy it.
This reminds me and brings us full circle to the 3M. Just now I didn't elaborate. So the money does not actually mean literally money. It's not like people throwing money at you. It's actually an understanding of money, understanding of economics, financial strategies, cash flow management. Because once you understand how money works, because money is dead, right? It's like if you understand how the computer works, you can do software programming. So if you know how money works, then obviously you can do anything you want. You can be a singer, an actor, a life coach, anything you want, because you know how money works. So every time $1,000 flow, 1,000 pounds go into your bank account, you know what to do with it. You will protect it, you will grow it, you will invest it. Yeah, but a person who doesn't understand how money works, you give him 1,000, 2,000, 5,000, 10,000, it's all gone. Right, and once it's gone, then obviously you'll be trapped by your job because there's no money. But if a person knows how to save, how to grow, how to protect, how to invest, then maybe he's a waiter, right? But he won't be a waiter for long, because after 10 years, he has invested enough, he buys a property, rents it out, then he'll be financially free. But a very senior person, like a managing director of a manufacturing company who doesn't know how money works, then he's stuck in the job forever until 60, 70, 80 years old, he's still doing the job. So that's very, very fundamental, how money works. Then the second M is mindset. A person needs to know that he's always growing. This is very important. I call it growth mindset. It doesn't matter, 40 years old, 50 years old, 60 years old. A person should always be constantly growing. So imagine if a person knows how money works, a person constantly has a mindset of growth, how are you going to stop the person? He is unstoppable. Right? Unstoppable, like Iron Man, like Thor. Right? Like Incredible Hulk. Unstoppable. Yeah. And then you combine it with the third M, where the person gains mastery of his craft. Wow. Invincible. The person becomes invincible. Okay, so for example, in my line of work, I have to make sure that I gain mastery of sharing stories, right? Sharing jokes, inspiring people, running a team, leadership skills. So all these are my mastery. And if things are weak, that means I'm not very good in digital marketing or search engine optimization or website development, click funneling, then I have to leverage. Leverage, that's another keyword under this thing called mastery. You have to learn how to leverage on other people who know how to do it. So currently, I am very blessed to have a quite fairly large team where someone is very good in click funneling, someone else is very good in lead generation, someone is very good in sales closing, and then everybody just synergize with each other and grow our company together and share profit together. So that is the mastery part. So money, mindset, mastery combined together, you become invincible.
No, that's exactly it, Eugene. And I really love your story, and I really love what you're doing and what you're about as a person. It's really motivating and uplifting, and I'm very, very humbled to connect with you and to have you on the podcast to share what you're doing and your story. It really means a lot.
Hey, thanks, Adam. an honor to be here, and I'm very inspired by you as well. You know, you're so young, and if I was your age, I have a time machine, I would start at your age. Yeah, but I didn't. Yeah, now I started at 39 years old, and now I'm 44. So you definitely have a huge head start. And by the time you turn 44, you will be phenomenal.
Oh, thank you, Eugene. Really, really means a lot. Really, really does mean a lot, and it's really kind what you said, and I'm really grateful, very, very grateful, and I think it's powerful. When you connect with people and they can offer advice and you can resonate with someone. It's really meaningful, and I thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem, no problem. So Adam, if you want to have some bedtime reading, you can go to eugeneseah.com.
Yeah.
Eugene Seah, which is spelled there, eugeneseah.com here. And you can download something I call the Abundance Blueprint.
Yeah, sure.
And if you follow the 10 steps there, then you can achieve abundance in your life for sure.
No, I'll definitely do that. I'll download it and I'll have a look at it, and I'll share it for you as well. And where can people find you on social media, on LinkedIn, like your website?
They just have to look for Eugene Seah, and there are not many Eugene Seahs on LinkedIn or Facebook. I mean, there are other Eugene Seahs, but not as good looking. So so they can easily connect with me and read my stories every week.
No, that's great. I'll put your details in the description for you as well. But
that'll be wonderful.
Yeah. No, but
hey, thank you, Adam. It's been a real honor.
No, you're welcome. It's been an honor to have you on, and I'll stay in touch.
Okay, stay in touch. Yeah, look forward to the final podcast.
Yeah, that'll be good. Take care. Okay. I know you're busy today.
Hey, take care. Yeah.
See you soon. All the best.
Stay true to yourself. Bye-bye.
I'll do. You too. Thank you, Eugene.